It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little video. Just wanted to jump on after that absolute debacle yesterday and talk about a few things that are going on at Manchester United right now, because I think we're all aware that the situation at this club is absolutely in the toilet. Probably the most dire situation this club has been in, well, in my lifetime, certainly. Has to be. The team is playing like absolute shite. The owners are an absolute joke. There's a lack of investment. They're making cuts every single place they possibly can. And we've got a new manager in who's not truly been backed. They let players go out on loan. They didn't really replace. And he's just been left to his own devices to deal with an absolute gashbag team of players. Right now, Manchester United is not a huge club. We are a huge club in terms of history, but in terms of actually on the pitch, we are a 14th placed club. We are the sort of side that gets done up by Fulham, mid-table side, at Old Trafford, at our home ground, in the FA Cup 5th round. That is the sort of team we are. We're miles away, possibly years away from getting to where we actually need to be. And we've got some big glaring issues in this squad. Of course, Amorim's going to need time to sort it out. People are saying, sack Amorim, his system's shite. I think the players are absolute shite, to be honest. What about these muggy players from yesterday who could have done a lot more? Why is Alejandro Garnacho not taking a penalty? He's an attacking player. He's a goal scorer. He's gun shy throughout the game. He's missing his opportunities. And when it's time to step up and take a potential penalty, let's bloody Victor Dwindle have it. Surely somebody like Alejandro Garnacho in that scenario should be grabbing that ball and taking the mantle and saying, I am going to bang that in, and do the bits for the team. Penalties is somewhat of a lottery, of course, but you still got to have the mentality to not be a complete bunch of fucking Billy Bottle jobs, which is what United were in that game yesterday, obviously. The shithouse Glazers got themselves a new scapegoat, potentially, in Amorim, because obviously he is taking a lot of the brunt. I see a lot of people saying, oh, his system's crap, and I'll go get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I love Ole, by the way, and he's doing bits of Besiktas, but crikey, this is a different animal of a task. He's trying to change the style, the formation, the way we play. Plus, he's having to do that with a bunch of absolute complete jebbins from the previous regime. Erik ten Hag's set of absolute band of merry melters. What a complete mess it is, really. It's tough for him to do this. He's not the one out there missing these opportunities. He's not the one out there missing the pens. He's not the one out there smashing into the side netting from 6 yards, is he? He's not the one who's properly bottle jobbing it in front of goal a la Rasmus Hojlund. He's not actually doing that. I mean, he is selecting Rasmus, which I don't really understand now. I want to talk about this, guys. Rasmus Hojlund needs to be dropped. This guy is absolutely having a mare. He's only 22. He has a future in the game. He's a Denmark international. He's got a bunch of goals for them. He will continue to be a Denmark international. He will develop and get better and be a good player, I think, in the future. But is he where we need him to be now? The short answer is no. The long answer is no. He's bloody nowhere near where we need him to be. It's not necessarily his fault, but crikey, it's time to drop him now. Drop him out of the side because he's just not really doing it. It's an extended run of absolute gashness from him. I can't really get behind him starting the next game. I know you're trying to get him a goal. Maybe he'll turn a corner, give him a boost, give him some confidence. He's got to have a good game at some point, doesn't he? Not necessarily, no. He just looks pretty crap. He has no presence up there. He's not running the line. He's not running the channels properly. He's not leading the line properly. He's not holding it up well enough. There's no interlink in play. There's no real quality interlink in play at all from the lad, to be fair. He's not linking up well with anyone. So what do? Well, Chido came on and looked pretty damn good in that game yesterday. He didn't score, but tell you what, he did a lot more in the cameo that he had on that pitch than Rasmus has probably done in about 10 games. He actually did look lively. He actually did link up with his teammates. He actually did get runs in behind and did get on the ball and did create some scary moments for Fulham. This is what we need to do. We need to start putting some more faith in these youth players. I hope Amorim does that. I hope he does look to people like Chido and say, you know what, Rasmus, we need to kick up the arse, mate. He's having a stinker. He needs to go play with the under 18s for a while or whatever. He needs to certainly sit out for a while. So maybe he's out of the spotlight. Maybe that pressure isn't so much on him. He can just get his head right, few games away from it, and then introduce slowly back in. You start off on the bench, lad, and you're coming on as an impact substitute late on. You've got pace, you've got power, you've got athleticism. Get on there late on and bully some defences, lad, and prove yourself and come back into it. And don't be a melter and don't fall off and don't be another Morgan Schneiderlin or whatever it is, or any list of players that we've signed over the years at United that have turned out to be crap for us. It's on Rasmus Hojlund and these players to step up, but certainly I think for now, it's on the manager to drop them. He's got to drop certain players. Andre Onana's another one. Onana was actually very good yesterday, to be fair to him. I can't really fault his performance yesterday too much. He is a flubber-handed mess usually, though. But one good game does not undo a whole series of gash performances for a whole season. So I'm not having this argument, oh, he was good yesterday. Yeah, he was good yesterday. So fucking what? There's so many opportunities he's been given that he probably shouldn't be given. So he's another one. I know we don't necessarily have the goalkeepers there. Well, get Vitek off loan then. Sign some free transfer side, and I don't know. Tim Flowers might come out of retirement. I don't know anything, because Andre Onana is not the answer there with his flubbery hand. But he was good yesterday, to be fair to him. But you've got to start dropping players like that. You've got to give opportunities to some youngsters. I would like to see certainly Chido Obi given opportunities up there, because Rasmus Hojlund is stinking up the gaff royally. I mean, I've got his stats up here, guys. He's played 22 times in the Premier League this season, so 22 different appearances. He's only scored 2 goals, and he's got 0 assists. I mean, that's shite by anyone's standards. You could literally put Easter Island head Slabby Maguire up there for 22 games. I'm sure Slabby Maguire will get you at least a return of 2 goals. Probably 5. I reckon Slabbo would have 5 in 22, to be fair. Let's face it, his cranium does have its own gravitational pull. The balls from cross is going to go straight into him. He's got a big old slab. He can definitely put a few headers in, can't he? Slabby Maguire would be more effective than this monstrosity that is known as Rasmus Hojlund, or as I'm going to call him now, Gashmus Boyland. Because he's just totally ineffective and he hasn't done anything for a long time. Crikey, he might have done a few bits in the Europa League. He scored a hat-trick there, did he? Oh, yeah, whatever. Who cares? We need to see it consistently week to week. Anyway, he's just a young kid, 22 years of age. He shouldn't have this pressure on him. He should be the backup player for a real striker, for a real experienced striker. We should have got a big-time striker in a couple of years ago when we had the opportunities. Well, I guess Ronaldo would have been nice to still have, I guess, even at his age. Harry Kane would have been an opportunity. You could have gone and got him instead of spunking money on people like Mount and Onana. You could have gone and got, I don't know, Osimhen, or somebody who's got some actual credentials and is ready-made to come in to score goals and is experienced. But no, we've decided, well, not us, not me, not you, but certainly the previous regime in Eric Ten Hag and the recruitment team decided to go and spend £75 million on Gashmus Boyland. And I'm sorry, he is a boy. He's not a man yet. He might be 6'3", he might be fast as fuck, but he still has fucking Lucky Charms for breakfast. He's not a real man. And by the way, I like Lucky Charms too, but he only eats the marshmallows. That's what I'm saying. He's not that mature yet as a player, and he's got a lot to learn, a lot to develop. Maybe this will be good for him in the future. Maybe Rasmus Hojlund will actually turn into a beast. Sometimes you've got to go through the fire sometimes to come out better, don't you? It can't all be plain sailing as a young player. You've got to develop, you've got to deal with adversity. So I think a few games out of the side here for Rasmus won't do him any harm whatsoever. In fact, it'll probably help him. Get the spotlight off him and let somebody else have an opportunity. And Chido Obi looks ready, to be fair. He looks good. It's a very early doors for him in the first team, of course, but he seems to provide us with more so what we need than what Rasmus had in about 15 games in just a short cameo performance yesterday against Fulham. So I certainly would give him a chance, guys. Let us know if you agree down below in the comment section. Is it time to drop Rasmus Hojlund and give maybe Chido Obi an opportunity, or anybody else? Stick Slabbo up there, as I say. He might get you a Hatters. But certainly Rasmus Hojlund is not the answer for goal scoring. The defence isn't really the problem. You know, Mazraoui wasn't great yesterday, but he's had a good solid season. Slabby Maguire, as much as he is a bang average slab and an Easter Island statue of a man, he's had a decent time of it last 12, 18 months. He's professional, at least he gives it. It's all fair play to him. And De Ligt is looking good so far. We've got a couple of injury issues. Yoro's a good young player. He had a good, decent time of it. He's not doing too badly at all. He's a young kid. So defensively, I don't think that's where our issues are. Defensively, we're not too bad. The midfield, we certainly have some issues there with injuries. Ericsson starting in the game. I think that's more so due to the fact that Garnacho obviously had a strop in the last game and Amorim started him off the bench. But we certainly do need to start looking at getting some midfielders in the summer. I'm just planning for next season now, guys. This season obviously is a dead one. We do still have the Europa League, but it's an opportunity gone to get into Europe for us. We're not getting into Europe via the league. Absolutely not. No chance in hell. So we've got to try and win the Europa League now. All of our eggs are in the Europa basket. And that's not a good situation to be in. I'm just thinking, oh my goodness me, what we're going to do? Finish 13th, 14th this season, no cups, melt out the Europa. You know, it's a real pitiful season, got to be the worst one ever. And I really feel for Ruben Amorim, because a lot of this isn't even his fault. He's left the winning side over there in Sporting, team that's duffing up City 4-1 just a couple of days before he's coming here. And he's having to deal with this absolute mess that's been left for him. And it's a mess from the previous manager signing players. It's a mess for many years from the Glazers shithouses and their piss poor ownership and management and running of this football club. And it's absolutely a mess from the new guys coming in as well. Ineos, who haven't really backed the new manager, who have overseen loan departures out in the Jan window for key players like Rashford and Anthony, and they're gash, to be honest. But there's still senior players on big money who are supposed to have a big place in that squad, a big place in that team, and you've not replaced them. We've got Dorgu in, to be fair, you know. You've got to try and actually do something now. Ineos, Glazer, they've got to try and do something. Yes, they backed Erik ten Hag to a degree, but they did it in the wrong way. There's no good chucking money around if you spend it poorly. We have to start getting the right players. We have to start getting the right hungry players, players with the right mentality. Basically, players who can handle the pressure of playing for a huge club like Manchester United, who is in a struggling period, that needs to get back to where they belong, which is at the top, and it's a long old road. But if we're going to get there, we need characters. We don't need bottle jobs. We don't need melters. We don't need people who can't handle the pressure, who fold like origami in key moments. You know, we don't need that. We need players who can step up, who can be consistent, who can handle the pressure of being a United player week to week. And if you get those right characters in there, you're halfway there, aren't you? They don't need to be the silkiest, most technical players in the world. You need some of that, but also you just need characters in this side, really, to handle wearing that badge and wearing it well, rather than completely melting all the time. Because that's it, really. We sign lots of good players who are doing good elsewhere, and they go elsewhere and do well, a la Rashford, a la Anthony over in Spain, or many other players as well that we've seen come in that were good before and good after, but are shite for us. But it's because I think this club has a huge pressure there. It's not a very well-run club for a start. That doesn't help. But certainly the pressure of just being a Man United player is huge. So youngsters like Hojlund, they shouldn't be dealing with this. He should be a fourth-choice striker behind Andy Cole, Dwight York, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if we're talking about a different scenario, a different era. He should be the fourth guy coming through who's a youngster. He shouldn't be the main man. So there's definite issues there, definite pressure on these players, which some of it's not their fault. They've come in for big money, some of it's not their fault. But you've got to handle the pressure. And if you can't handle the pressure, if you can't handle the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen, my son. And hopefully we can move on these players that can't handle the heat, and we can get some players in that can. That's what I'm hoping for, guys, anyway. But we do have to start thinking about preparations for next season. Let's try and develop some of those youth players. There's too much emphasis on maybe giving starts to players like Onana, like Rasmus Hojlund, like these guys. No, I do want to see some changes. Get Vitek back on loan, or back off loan. Get Chido Obi started in the mix there. Obviously, Collier's out injured at the minute, but, players like that, the youngsters, give opportunities to these guys. And I think we could be better set next season with more experience in the team, with a few players who are hungry and young and have something to prove. Could have an ex-Cole Palmer on our hands or some shite. You never know. You've got to give opportunities to these players. But what we certainly know is there's too many passengers and too many melters and too many bottle jobs who can't handle the pressure currently in this Manchester United side. We're out the frigging cup against Fulham. It's a true debacle to lose the way we did as well at Old Trafford. Yes, okay, it's penalties. Some people say, I could have gone either way. It's a lottery. Bullshit. It's literally a case of us not doing the job at Old Trafford against a mid-table side. That's what it is. We had the opportunities, not in 90 minutes, 120 minutes to get the job done. We couldn't do it, lacking in firepower, lacking in quality, lacking in bottle and players who can handle the pressure. It's a shambles. There we have it, guys. Just wanted to jump on, give you my thoughts. A debacle situation. We are out the cup. We do only really have the Europa League to save our season this season. Amorim's up against it. Just get your thoughts in below, guys. Thank you for watching, first of all. Smash that like button. But get your thoughts in down below. Where does the problems mostly lie? Is it Amorim's system? I don't think it is, personally. I think we've got to learn that system. We've got to go through the ringer here to maybe come out better and basically just treat the rest of the season as a long pre-season for Amorim and get rid of the shite bags that we can in the summer and get some new boys in. That's what I think. But get your thoughts in about Amorim's sort of situation, his performance. I mean, he's not doing great, is he? Let's be honest, it's a shambles. It's not doing great, but I think there's a lot of other reasons for the situation as it is. Well, we've gone over it in this video, but yes, thank you very much for watching, guys. That's the end of this video. Just wanted to jump on and have a little bit of a rant, I suppose, about some of the melty players we've got on our side that we need to dispatch of. Anyway, thank you for watching. Do us a favor, hit the like button, get yourself subscribed if you do. Get your thoughts down below. Where does the fault lie? And you can follow us on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Also, check out my gaming channel, Flying Pig Gaming, for FC25 content and all sorts of stuff. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. This is the Pig. I'm out of here.